Very well.
Welcome back. Witness number 1 and number 2. For continuation of your testimonies before this Commission of Inquiry to Local Government Councils and related matters, I want to remind both of you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Batchily.
Good afternoon.
Madam Mayor, you are welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, I asked witness number 2, the mayor, as to why is it important to have a procurement office.
Nena belegi siawla neka ya hamne ya neka ñaarel sere vitay. Nena legi lu moy lajte moy lan moy important procurement office.
The Lita Muara Amoy is part of the council structure, Bayana.
One, the reason why you're supposed to have a procurement office is part of the structure of council.
So, and number 2, I'm not million saslo ham na mom lagay wara def.
And number 2, there is a tax which they themselves supposed to carry on this tax.
And so they are the unit responsible for procurement, correct?
Nena kon ñoña ñe ñoo xamne ñoo responsible procurement.
Wow.
Yes.
You also know about the contracts committee.
Nena
You also know about the contracts committee.
Nena xam nga tamit luy contract committee.
Contract committee.
Contract committee.
Wow.
Yes.
What is their role?
Nena lan moy sen taxaway?
For just name binum waxe rek defar contracts, purchase items yo xamne council soxla nako, etc. and so forth.
As per the name, they are there to take care of the contracts and so many things in council that council needed.
So the contracts committee oversees all procurement related matters in council.
Nena kon contract committee ñoo nek ñoo xamne ñoo dé sét lepp li nga xamne joggé na ci wala lu wara dem ci procurement wala joggé ci procurement ci council.
Everything that has to do with procurement is administered by the contracts committee.
Lepp li nga xamne bokka na ci yefi procurement lepp dañ ko dé administrer ñoko dé administrer moy contract committee.
Do you understand?
Nena fofu leer na.
Wow.
Yes.
So you know that anything that has to do with procurement has to be done by the contracts committee together with the procurement unit, correct?
Nena kon yegg nga li ne lepp li nga xamne procurement dañ ko wara def dafa wara jaar ci contract committee ñoom ak procurement ñoo wara tok defar lolu.
I don't know.
Ak procurement ñoo wara tok defar lolu. It has to be done by the contracts committee and the procurement unit.
Nena ñoko wara defar ñoy contract committee ak procurement unit tamit ñoo xamne ñoko wara defar.
Moy liñ wara purchase ci at bi la wax nda.
And you mean what to be purchased in a year?
Yes.
Nena wow?
Okay.
Yes.
And you have to have a procurement plan.
Nena te da ngeen wara am lu ñuy wax procurement plan.
No.
Yes.
In 2019 was there a procurement plan?
Nena at 2019 da procurement plan am na won fofu.
Fatena xejna ci yob nañu ci mëna dembalé.
I cannot remember. I think if you could help, CDC could help us.
So there was no procurement plan?
Nena dafa melni amuton procurement plan.
Not? There was no procurement plan?
Nena fofa mom dafa melni amut procurement plan amut si 2019.
Not dafa melni procurement plan amut 2019.
Procurement plan amut at 2019.
There was no procurement plan, Honorable Mayor, in 2019.
Yalla mo wal nena amut procurement plan si at 2019.
And this is confirmed by highlighted by the compliance review.
Nena te so sete compliance review tamit lol tamit wona nañ ko fofu dafa feñ fofu.
And confirmed by the CEO.
nee na te CEO si boppam mu dal di ko dëgëral ne lu am la.
CEO, is that correct?
Yes.
CEO mu ne waaw.
Now, why was there no procurement plan in 2019, Honorable Mayor?
nee na lu tax procurement plan amutoon si ati 2019.
loolu xanaa ñu laaj ko CEO bi man I cannot answer that.
For that I cannot be able to answer that unless we ask the CEO.
Why can you not answer it?
nee na lu tax yow mënuloo tontu loolu.
waaw comme benn waxoon naa la jafe-jafe bu ñu amoon ne there was no procurement office for number one.
As I said, number one, the difficulties we faced that there wasn't or there was not like a procurement office.
And number two, that's purely administration.
And number two, it was purely administration.
Do you not have a role in making sure there's a procurement plan?
Nenda au yaw amlo warugal wala yon pour mun a gis ne procurement plan am na.
am naa warugal si wax naa ko from day one.
Yes,
my role is to oversee, to supervise, to oversee the council.
Yes, I have said that from day one that yes, I have the obligation because I'm there to supervise council.
Did you go ahead?
Why again, luñ ma wax rek laa mun a xam.
But again, whatever I am informed is what I know.
Did you request for a procurement plan?
Nenda yaw da nga laajte woon pour ñu am procurement plan.
I cannot remember.
I cannot remember.
Why did you not request for a procurement plan?
Nena lu tax laajte lo wala wax lo leen pour ñu am procurement plan.
Mënuma remember da laajte naa ko laajte wu ma ko.
I cannot remember whether I did ask or not.
Mr. CEO, did the mayor request a procurement plan in 2019?
No.
Moom mu ne déet request lo benn procurement plan.
The CEO has answered that you did not request for a procurement plan in 2019.
Nena CEO wax na ne 2019 de yow wax lo wala laajte lo pour ñu am pour ngeen am foofu procurement plan.
Loolu la CEO bi wax man li ma la tontu mooy ne I cannot remember that laajte naa ko o laajte wu ma ko su fekkee ne moom mun naa remember ne laajte wu ma ko xëy na moom he can prove that man weddi wu ma ne CEO lu mu wax de.
Yes, that is what the CEO said. But as I said for myself that I cannot remember whether I did or I did not. But maybe if at all he can remember that I did, yes, he can say so.
The law requires that there has to be a procurement plan.
Nena loi bi mom li la wax ne procurement plan dafa wara am.
The law requires that Mr. Batchily as the CEO must administer the area council.
Nena te loi bi li la wone ne Mr. Batchily ki nga xam ne moo nekk CEO dafa wara nekk ko xam ne mooy wara administer council.
The law requires that the chairperson, the mayor or the mayoress, as the case may be, supervises the CEO.
Nena te loi bi belegi ni la terel ne yaw sa boppa chairperson bi wala yow mayor bi yena wara nekk ñoo xam ne da ngeen wara supervise CEO.
So that what the CEO did not do in accordance with law.
Li nga xam ne lépp li nga xam ne moom def na ko te àndut ak loi bi.
What the CEO did not do in accordance with law.
Nena li nga xam ne CEO def na ko wala defu ko si yooni loi.
He should be instructed by way of a letter.
Nena war ngeen ko yëgal wala war ngeen ko wax pour mu def ko te war ngeen ko bind si comme lettre.
Demanding that he does what the laws require him to do.
Pour ngeen gis ne ngeen yëgal ko mu gis ne mu dal di def li nga xam ne loi bi loolu la wax pour mu def.
Did you write?
Nena ndax bi nga ko bindoon.
I cannot remember writing.
I cannot remember writing.
Mënuma remember pour binda ko anything about concerning procurement plan.
I cannot remember writing to the CEO anything concerning the procurement plan.
So as it stands, we don't have evidence of a letter written to the CEO requesting for a procurement plan.
Nena kon be legi amuñ evidence bi nga xam ne bu mel ni lettre li nga xam ne bind nga ko jox ko CEO pour gis ne procurement bi mu am plan.
Waaye loolu wax naa ko man mënuma remember fu ma waxee affaire procurement plan.
But I have said that I cannot remember where I have said about a procurement plan.
Did the council discuss the issue of a procurement plan in 2019?
Nena at 2019 that council mus nañ toog pour waxtaan affaire procurement plan.
In your general meetings, in the council meetings?
Nena si sa general council meeting.
Mënuma remember loolu.
I cannot remember that.
If there is no procurement plan, do you know that all the procurement done in that year would be unlawful?
Nena su nekkee amut procurement plan ndax xam nga loolu ne loolu su amut da nga gis ne procurement yëpp bi nga xam ne def ngeen ko si at boobu du ànd ak loi bi.
Xawma loolu.
I don't know that.
So if there is no procurement plan, the procurements that will be done in that year would not be lawful.
Nena su amut procurement plan da nga gis ne at boobu procurement bi nga xam ne yëpp def ngeen ko du ànd ak loi bi du ma ko tërale.
And if you do not have a procurement plan, then you can't have a proper budget.
Nena te soo amut procurement plan doo mën a am proper budget.
Do you know this?
Ndax xam nga loolu.
maa ngi ko doon dégg tey.
It's my first time to hear this. It's news to me.
because the budget would, of course, factor in the expected expenditure for a given year.
Nena da nga gis ne budget bi suñ koy liggéey nuñ ko xayma wala fan koy tëral mooy expectation yi nga xam ne am ngeen ko si at bi li nga xam ne loolu ngeen war a dépense.
And this will be informed by the procurement plan.
Nena te li lu ko war a leeral wala lu war a xibaar li mooy lu ñuy wax procurement plan loolu rek moo mën a leeral loolu.
In relation to procurement.
si bi nga xam ne mbiri procurement.
So this should have been enforced.
Nena lii dafa war a nekk loo xam ne da ngeen ko fa war a taxawal mu ngeen enforce ko.
Do you know this?
Nena xam nga loolu.
xëy na su fekkee ne duñ mën a am budget bu correct xam naa budget bi comme ba mu demee si ministre bi ñoom dañ ko reject.
No, I know we don't have a correct budget. The time it was taken to the ministry, it will be rejected.
No, I mean, you have your budget and you go through your bilaterals. If they don't ask you whether you have a procurement plan, then you may escape on that.
Nena so amee sa budget bi nga dem fi nga xam ne foofu nga ko yóbbu lu ma wax bilateral nena su fekkee ne ñooñu laajtewuñ la affaire procurement plan nena mbir mi noonu la moo demee.
But just because someone doesn't do their job supposedly properly.
waaye comme am na ki nga xam ne nu mu war a liggéey defut noonu liggéeyam bi warut nu mu waree.
does not mean that the BCC shouldn't do their job.
Nena loolu taawut wala loolu taawut ba gis ne BCC waruñ def seen liggéey.
Now, most of the procurement that were done were single sourced.
Nena te soo seetee procurement yu bëri yi nga xam ne def ngeen ko foofu loolu yëpp nekk na loo xam ne lu ñuy wax single source.
We told Mr. Batchily that which was done in relation to procurement for single sourcing for the most part was against the law.
Nena te war nañ ko Batchily fii ne am na yoon yoo xam ne yu bëri wala dépense yoo bëri yoo xam ne yu bëri def ngeen ko si single source nena loolu yu bëri nga xam ne àndut ak loi bi.
Now, do you know why most of these procurement activities were single sourced, Honorable Mayor?
Nena na yow ndax am nga xam-xam foofu wala xam nga lu tax ay procurement yu bëri yi nga xam ne def ngeen def ko si single source.
Did it?
No.
Did you find out?
Nena ndax da nga find out da nga ut ba xam lu xew wala laajte.
Did it?
No.
Is there any reason why?
Nena ndax am na lu tax.
loolu li council that is pure administrative liggéeyi administration la.
Council, that is the work of the administration.
How do you understand the supervisory role of the mayor or mayoress or chairperson supervising the administration?
Nena yow supervise bi nga xam ne daf la war wala yow mayor bi yaa ko war a def wala chairperson bi mooy seen rôle supervising nena wax ñu kon yow loo si xam ban la war a def si supervising boobu.
How do you supervise them?
Nena naka nga dee supervise.
Through CEO bi lu ma wax.
Through CEO, what he do inform me.
Because man duma accountant.
Because I am not the accountant.
So ma demee accounts bi pour wax ne dama leen di supervise.
And even if I go to the accounts and I say I want to supervise them,
man dama nax suma boppa.
I'm just joking to myself.
I'm not an expert in procurement.
I am not an expert in procurement.
So su ma duggee foofu tamit ne maa ngi seet procurement li ñoo def tamit dama nax suma boppa.
And if I enter there to say I want to find out what the procurement are doing, that means I'm fooling myself.
You don't have to be an expert.
Nena wala nekk sa expert.
You don't have to supervise the finance director per se in the strict sense.
Nena negut ne pour supervise ko comme nga dem topa ko di seet lan la moo def wala si lan la nekk lu ma strict sense.
You don't have to supervise the procurement officer.
Nena negut tamit procurement officer ngay supervise.
You don't have to supervise the director of administration, or let's say to supervise the cleaner.
Wala negut tamit ne da nga war a supervise the director wala nga cleaner nga supervise cleaner.
The law says you supervise their boss.
Nena loi bi lu mu wax mooy seen njiit bi nga xam ne mooy seen boss kooku nga war a supervise.
The person who supervises these people
Nena koo xam ne kooku tam moo dee supervise ñooñu.
is answerable to you.
Nena moom si yow la moo uyu.
So when he supervises the director of finance,
Nena yow soo supervise director of finance.
not yo, Mr. Batchily, he
Nena,
supervises the director of finance.
Nena CEO so supervise director of finance.
The CEO supervises the other directors.
Nena CEO mu supervise ñeneen director
The
yi.
CEO supervises the various units.
Nena CEO mu supervise various units si fa nekk.
It is his job
nee na liggéeyam la
to make sure
pour gis ne
they do their job.
pour ñu dafa war dafa lañu liggéey dañuy def seen liggéey nu mu waree.
Now it is the mayor's or the chairperson's job
nee na léegi sa liggéey la mayor bi wala chairperson
to make sure
pour nga gis ne
that the CEO does his job.
CEO def na liggéeyam nu mu war.
So, for instance, we have Mr. Batchily did not do so many things that he is supposed to do.
nee na comme suñ ko jëlee Mr. Batchily lu mu war a def defu ko yu nga xam ne yu bëri defu ko.
That's the case. We have him. He did not do so many things that he is supposed to do.
nee na te gis nañ ko lu bëri li nga xam ne war na ko defu ko.
Most he accepts.
nee na nangu na.
But he has to be supervised by the mayor.
nee na waaye moom mayor bi moo ko war a supervise.
Not for you to wait whatever he brings, then you discuss. Whatever he does not bring, you discuss. That's how it works.
nee na nekkut ne yow da nga toog xaar ko lépp li nga xam ne isi na la ko nga ngeen dal di waxtaan si loolu lu mu isi doo leen waxtaan. nee na
The mayor should request for things.
nee na yow lawyer bi yaa war a di laajte loolu.
Request for the audit report.
nga laajte audit reports yi.
If there are internal audit reports, you request for them.
nee na su fekkee ne am na internal audit nga dal di leen di laajte.
You read, take action, forward to General Council.
nga jàng ko nga forward ko si General Council.
If there are compliance reviews,
nee na su fekkee ne am na foofu compliance.
you request, you write.
nga bind ko request ko.
You take action or you go to General Council and address the matter.
nga jël action wala sa boppa nga dem si General Council ngeen gis ne ngeen mën a waxtaan mbir mi.
That is the supervision.
nee na lii mooy supervision.
If you wait for Mr. Batchily,
nee na soo toog nga xaar Mr. Batchily.
if things go wrong,
nee na mbir mi lu mu demee su demee li nga xam ne àndut.
and he is faulty,
nee na te moom daal na ba pare.
he may not bring it to you,
nee na da nga gis ne loolu moom du la ko wax wala du ko isi si yow.
and you may not know.
te yow doo ko xam.
I don't know. I'm not sure whether we're on the same page.
nee na foog naa ne ñëpp si benn affaire bi laaj nekk.
Li council.
Youth Council.
For now, last time bi wax naa la fi ne la.
I think last time I told you that.
dang dee bind nga laajte dara duñ la ko jox.
You write request of something and it will not be given to you.
And where the bus stop mooy ne.
And where the bus stop is that?
su fekkee ne laaj naa Mr. Batchily.
If I ask Mr. Batchily.
Mr. Batchily asks mu laajte accounts.
And Mr. Batchily asks the account.
or mu laaj procurement.
Or procurement.
or whoever affected.
Or whoever he is affected.
joxuñ ko ko.
And he is not given to him.
xëy na possibility ne joxuñ ko anyway man awuma ko laa mun a wax.
The possibility is that maybe they did not give it to him. But for me, as I said, I did not get it.
And before the time I make some tenders.
And before the time I make some tenders.
xëy na di nga understand, for example, a classical example mooy the budget.
You might understand the typical example is the budget.
Account reconciliations accounts of council.
The reconciliation accounts of council.
Etc. Yooyu yëpp da nga koo laajte doo ko jox.
Etc. All are requested, but they will
te
not
wax
give
naa la
it.
fi ne.
And I inform you that.
The oversight supervisors ñooy the ministry.
The oversight supervisories are the ministry.
And ministry make it very clear bu ñu binda.
And the ministry make it very clear that let me not write to them.
No, now let's not confuse things. Let's not confuse things.
The
ministry has a supervisory role.
Ministry amna supervisory role.
Where you write as mayor, even where the case is, the procedure is wrong, where, for instance, the communication channel that we have in the law.
Communication channel
is that the CEO is the official communicator with the ministry.
Communicator officers, CEO, my communication officers to the ministry.
So when you have a council decision, for instance,
also am a council decision.
He is the one to write. He is the secretary. He is your secretary. He is the one to write. So when council passes a resolution, the mayor should not just write directly to the ministry. The law is Batchily is the secretary. So, like you said last time, where you are frustrated, for instance, where you are frustrated, and you had to write, that, in my opinion, wouldn't be wrong. Because you have already exhausted all remedies. And the CEO had written numerous letters. So if you write to the ministry, so it is as a matter of desperation.
nee na loolu mun na nekk loo xam ne loolu sa xalaat discrétion la.
It would be as a matter of perhaps desperation.
nee na loolu mun na nekk léegi da nga dem ba cooku da nga sisu.
But the official communication is through the CEO.
nee na waaye soo seetee official communication normal channel bi mooy through CEO.
But that's not what I'm discussing now.
nee na waa nekkul ne loolu lañ nekk di waxtaan léegi de.
Let me just finish. What I'm discussing now.
nee na léegi ñu nekk di wax léegi mooy.
is the communication between council, mayor, and CEO.
nee na diggante ñettay council, mayor ak CEO.
That's what we are discussing.
nee na si loolu lañ nekk loolu la ñoo discuss.
How does council supervise the mayor?
naka la council supervise mayor.
How does the mayor supervise the CEO?
naka mayor bi war a supervise CEO.
And how does the CEO supervise the administration?
naka la CEO war a supervise administration.
You may go on.
nee na mën nga continuer si loolu.
foog naa explain nga ko explicitly.
I think what you have explained is very clear.
And yes, indeed, man moo tax ma wax la at the beginning na laal CEO lu ma wax rek laa mën a xam.
And from the beginning, indeed, I told you or I informed you that whatever I am aware, I am informed by the CEO.
ma ko laajee tamit lu ma jox rek loolu laa mën a assume ne moo fa nekk.
If I ask him whatever he told me, that is what I would do assume that that is exactly in
The
place.
evidences are here, some of the evidences yoo xam ne moom si boppam maa ngi koo laaj budget bi.
And I have some of the evidence that he himself, I do ask him or I ask him about the budget.
moom tam mu ngi puus feneen waaye mënut a nekk.
But he was pushing somewhere, but it couldn't be possible.
Bank statements, bank reconciliation of council.
The bank statements, the bank reconciliation of council.
Puus ba soona mënu koo am.
He pushed until the last minute, but he could not be able to lay hands on it.
Do you have those letters?
And
Nena ba am nga letter yooyu?
maa indi naa leen.
Yes, I brought them.
So finance director bu woon ko carrément ne mënu koo defar.
And financial director told us that later he cannot be able to prepare them.
Later I understand that dañ am pour dem hire nit pour mu ñëw def ko.
Later I understand that we need to hire somebody to come and prepare them for us.
And coming back to the communication channel.
And when I come, if we come back to the communication channel,
it is so frustrating.
it is very frustrating.
So the way you bu ko explain nii.
The way you explain things,
That is the same thing lu ñu ministry bi di wax.
that is the same thing that we are told by the ministry.
So it means that su ma gisee Batchily ma war koo boole.
If I see Batchily and I want to involve him,
And I have a complaint against Batchily.
and I have a complaint against him,
So what the ministry is telling me,
and what the ministry is telling me,
mooy Batchily moo ñu war a binda mu boole boppam.
that is Batchily who's supposed to write to them.
No.
So
Now let me maybe.
no, I'm not saying what you said, lead counsel. I'm saying li ñu ministry bi wax. It's very clear. The ministry is telling me don't write me.
I'm telling you what the ministry told us.
Don't write to us.
Not to write to them.
Let me assist you on that.
Then I have a see.
See, council, general council, you have general meetings.
Then a general council, they're gonna have general meetings.
Yes.
Yes.
You have the power to summon the CEO to come and answer to council.
Then I'm going dollar to summon CEO when you see council.
Dafa dee nekk every time.
Yes, he's always there all the time.
You have the power to demand that he provide some evidence in relation to things you want. For instance, if the council wants him to present, to answer to an internal audit report, you have the power for him to explain and be asked questions.
Then I'm going dollar for ne local sample internal audits.
General council.
General council am nañ doole lool pour laajte ko mo dal di expliquer wala ay kayit yoo xam ne internal audit yi nga xam ne joxe nañ ko na moom si boppam am nañ pour ñu laajte ko. Yes.
Good. And when you have the power to make your decisions, your recommendations, for instance, right?
Nee na soo demee ba ngeen war a def seen recommendation mooy si sa doole bi nga am pour def recommendation.
No, you have the power to make recommendations and pass resolutions.
Nee na yow am nga doole pour nga def recommendation si yoo xam ne resolution yi nga xam ne joxe nañ ko.
So in this sense, Mr. Bojang, it's not her per se, individually. I am now talking about the general council.
Nee na su ne yow nee na nekkut ne yow sa bopp la de nee na general council la moo wax.
Now, when general council pass resolutions,
nee na general council suñ demee ba joxe seen xalaat mooy seen resolution.
and they are damning allegations against the CEO,
nee na bépp ñu daal di tuumal CEO.
this can be forwarded to the Service Commission.
nee na lii da ngeen ko war a yóbbu wala dafa war a dem si Service Commission.
Lead counsel.
Lead council.
Wallahi, I hope you understand some frustration.
I swear I want you to understand my frustration.
The council, I said it here over and over again, unless and until believe
I said here over and over, but maybe if at all, only if you don't believe on what I have
we
said.
have cases your hamne, then call your name to the ministry.
We have cases that
we
used to
cannot bypass the ministry and send directly to the local government service commission.
Send to the ministry. Because we cannot bypass the ministry and send it to the local government commission.
I have evidences here where they will tell us, bypass you.
And I have evidence that they said to me that I cannot write my letters and bypass them.
We are discussing the same thing.
So
we are discussing the same thing.
They will not take it.
That was happening. Your statement on that part is true. Not your statement on that part. That the PS was insisting that communications for the commission must pass through him. That is true. We have seen that evidence from other area councils. I had told you the permanent secretary testified. We informed the permanent secretary that that is wrong. That communications meant for the ministry are for the ministry. Communications for the service commission cannot and should not and must not pass through the permanent secretary.
Service commission but water pass the secretary bi
so it is true they were insisting that it must pass through them. We have passed that level because we have agreed with you on that part. And I had said this had been strengthened by the current case of KMC and of course the ministry. Of course, Senator Martins, I think, was there. That the communications for the service commission cannot and should not pass through the ministry. So, if you were forced to do that, I hope the commissioners understand that. I hope the commissioners understand. I'm sure the commissioners understand. But that is for communications that are supposed to be through the commission ministry for the commission. That's not what we are discussing now. I am saying Mr. Batchily, as the CEO, is acting under the direction and control of the council. And the mayor being the head of council supervises the work of the chief executive officer. The law says a chairperson shall be the political head of local government area council. Preside at council's meetings. Supervise the general administration of the area council. Yes. Supervise the general administration of the area council. So my question is, are you familiar or aware of a GPPA, Gambia Public Procurement Authority compliance review for every year? Are you aware of this?
GPPA and compliance rule every adbuneka.
Are you aware that they give their compliance review every year?
And I'm buying nyom de johe adbuneka and compliance review.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, do you have access to this compliance review?
And I'm access for amko.
Wow, then could they discuss?
Yes, we do discuss about it.
How?
Batchily did not go into my office, you
Batchily used to bring it, or we will bring it to my office, we discuss about it.
Sometimes in a see council term.
And sometimes he will inform council.
Why sometimes?
Nena lu tamu neka I sometimes wala neko to bu neka.
Xam nga duma dee nekk si every council meeting.
No, you know I am not present in every council meeting.
Yes, but if, for instance, there's a council meeting and you're not present, you will be aware what has been discussed by way of minutes.
Nena why su ame council meeting soko feke wut sa why danga yek wala danga xam lan lañ waxon fofu parce que si minutes yi la.
Loolu dëgg la.
That is true.
So moo tax pour ma bañ a juum.
That is better for me if not to get lost.
Off my head.
Off my head.
Remember moo tax ma ne sometimes.
I cannot remember off here. This is why I say sometimes.
Now, when you discuss this compliance review with Batchily, is it just the two of you or is it discussed with the management as well?
Nena bi ngay waxtaan ak Batchily si mbir mi nena yoon ñaari wala si management bi.
Man duma dee talk management meeting.
I don't sit in a management meeting.
Now, how do you discuss that? With who?
Naka ngeen discuss li ak Batchily ak
I'm
kan?
not going this to my attention.
You can bring it to my attention.
So kum fa muna fekk rek we discuss it together.
Whoever he finds there, we can discuss it together.
Not in management.
But not in management.
Mr. Batchily?
Duma dee talk foofu.
Mr. Batchily?
Yes.
Do you discuss this with the mayor? All the compliance reviews?
Yes, I normally used to hand them over a copy to see the report from the GPPA.
Now, do you discuss it with her?
Yes,
do you
we
have
do.
a discussion where you go through the compliance review with the mayor, page by page, and discuss it, issue by issue?
No, we never used to go page by page.
Do you have a discussion about the compliance review?
We look
contents?
We look at the general situation.
What is the general situation?
That the compliance level is low.
So you turn to the last page.
Pardon?
You just turn to the last page where they have the percentage, and you just discuss that the general percentage is very low for this year. That's all you do?
Yes.
But you don't discuss the content?
No, we don't discuss the content page by page.
Okay, Lord Mayor, the commissioner, the CEO says that you don't discuss the content, only the percentage regarding the compliance percentage.
Nena CEO mom wax na ne do len de discuss mbiri content moy li nga xamne lu mu omba nena len ni ngeen de waxtaan moy affaire percentage.
I cannot remember lan lañ de discuss.
I cannot remember exactly what do we normally discuss.
Ndax ma day wax ne dafa low or dafa high.
Whether it is low or it is high.
Waaye xam naa ne sometimes the content yi nga xam ne moo fa nekk.
But I know sometimes the content that is in it.
Dinaa gis ne GPPA complain nañ lii.
I will see to it that GPP have complained about it.
Or GPPA wax nañ lii.
Or GPP have said this.
So dina waxtaan man won ma ne ma lii dinañ ko try defee ko nii or dinañ ko try defee ko nii.
So he will discuss with me and he advised me or we advise each other to say let us do this way or take this way.
So what action do you take after you are given the compliance review?
Nena yow lan moy sa taxaway su demé be ñu jox la compliance bi. Review.
Xam nga coming back to 2019.
Coming back to 2019.
And I think you are discussing 2019.
Right.
I think we are still on the discussion of 2019.
Wax naa la jànkuwante yi problème yi nga xam ne moom la council amoon ci foofu.
I told you the constraints, the difficulties that council had.
Pour this office.
To have this office.
And the 2019 review bi nga xam ne moom la gaay indi.
And the 2019 review that they brought.
Bi nga xam ne moom nga discuss right now.
And the one we are discussing right now.
You put in mind is activities that happened in 2018, if I am right.
And let us put in mind that these activities had happened in the year 2018.
I stand to be corrected. Loolu laa foog.
I stand to be corrected. That is
yes,
fine.
some will be 2018.
So dafa mel ni ñun si digga bi.
Nena waaw am na ñoo xam ne 2018 la.
And the whole of 2019.
And 2019.
Wow. So foog naa time boobu yëpp office bi was not established.
And I think that time the office was not established.
I'm not. Okay.
Do you know Aida Njai?
Nena xam nga ko ñëw Aida Njai.
Very well.
Very well.
I have exhibit LGCC/BCC/IN/001.
Exhibit.
I will show you.
Then I'll go on.
This letter is dated 2014, is that correct?
Then a letter be 2014. Yes.
Now, how what was she employed as in 2014?
nee na 2014 ñoom bu ñu ko jëlee liggéey lan lañ ko kii assistant procurement officer.
Now, you have Aida Njai in 2014 as a procurement officer.
Yes.
And she was there throughout.
nee na moom mu fa woon throughout.
In 2018, we have Sankung Fati.
nee na ati 2018 ku ñu am foofu mooy ku ñuy wax Sankum Fati.
We also have Sankung Fati.
nee na am nañ foofu Sankum Fati.
Procurement actor and admin.
Procurement actor, admin.
Yes. So, for instance, Ida in 2014 was there when you took over in 2018. Ida was their CEO, correct?
Yes. Was in the council, yes.
Now, not only was Mr. Hafner there, Ida was there in 2018, and as a procurement officer. Of course, there was a period that she was removed there and moved to the rates unit, which she complained about, and even wrote a letter to the permanent secretary. But the point is, at least you have 1 or 2 people who were working in this unit in 2018. Correct, Mr. Batchily?
Yes.
Now, we also have Sankung as well. Sankung wrote a letter to the Chief Executive Officer on the 14th of February 2018. In relation to the subject is the unprofessional handling of procurement affairs in BCC. Right? Sankung was, how long was he there, Mr. Batchily?
I don't recall really the duration. I don't think, because the thing is, he was not brought in as a full-time staff.
Yes.
Which clearly indicated, the continuous struggle we were having with the procurement.
Who brought in Sankung Fati?
He applied for internship, I think.
Right.
I think that
And
was it. And I think after subsequently, either he was given a contract also, or he remained an intern. I really have forgotten.
Be it as it may, he was in the procurement unit. Correct?
Yes.
Now, my point is, Honorable Mayor, that there were people, at least 2 in the procurement unit during this time. In fact, Ida's transfer, I believe, was in 2019. Sorry, in 2020. When she was written to by the Chief Executive, and the copy to the letter was copied to the Lord Mayor BCC, Rates Manager BCC, Chairman Establishment Committee, and Chairman Local Government Service Commission.
And Chairman Local Government Service
And the letter reads, please be informed that you are deployed from the procurement unit to the rates unit.
Audit unit.
Audit. Rates.
Rates unit.
With immediate effect. This will allow the management to better manage procurement matters. Pending the proposed recruitments to be carried out by Local Government Service Commission. So people occupied this office. Or were you not aware of this letter, Lord Mayor?
Okay, mangi do gis letter bi tay for the first time.
It's my first time to see the letter today.
Sankung man fekuma Sankung mi def procurement Badji City Council.
I did not found Sankung being a procurement officer in Batchily City Council.
And I think the CEO made it very clear fee.
And I think CEO have made it clear. He said when I came, I found one called Dauda. Although I did not found Dauda therein, but he was the procurement officer at the time.
He's wrong.
He was sick.
He's wrong. Because the documents we have shows that Mr. Batchily is wrong.
Man, honestly,
Lead counsel, honestly, I'm telling you, I will tell you or telling you what I know.
Man ma that Sankung gentleman bobu yagante wuñ Banjul City Council fogu mané amante nañ fa sax 1 month or so.
That gentleman, I did not stay long with him at Banjul City Council. I don't think we even spent a month there.
I remember you on a time advise me.
I remember he came one time to advise me.
That is for another day.
As for another day,
After Mudem.
he left.
Ida was there.
Ida was there.
Whether Ida was a qualified procurement officer or not, I don't know.
Whether she was a qualified procurement officer or not, I did not know.
Later, being my one knee, manko do register.
The letter that you showed me today is my first time to see
And the
it.
memo I gave you the last time, I'm not being a memo buma tender.
And I tendered a memo last time when I was here.
I respectfully buganga allow ma read ko.
I respectfully want you to allow me so that I can read it.
And this Lulu is all geared towards the case of Ida Njai.
And that is all geared towards the case of the said Ida Njai.
Can we show the witness her exhibits that were tendered in this previous sitting?
For me,
Mangi Japan, man Ida Njai sax mako def procurement officer.
I'm thinking that Ida Njai, I personally make her to be a
senior procurement officer. Senior procurement officer.
Senior procurement officer.
Te lolu mu ngi ci exhibit.
And that is exhibited.
Exhibit bi moy bu amé green. Mu ngi amé lifin bu green, paper bu green la.
And that exhibit is having a green paper.
What we do, at 1 we go on break.
Then one you tell them break.
We will get the exhibit out.
Then I exhibit jamana bobu nañ ko génné.
And you may even have time to go through it during the break.
Then mën na nekk break time nañ ko ut.
So that you identify the exhibit itself.
Pour nga won ñu ay yow sa bop nga won ñu ay exhibit bobu.
And we will give you the opportunities to go through it.
Then nga gis né ñu dugal ko comédie ko.
Is that okay?
Then lolu what? Yes.
So Papa Lee was February 2018.
This was February 2018.
Yun time bu ñu waguñ cancel.
At that time I did not get to
in
cancel.
2020, I'm talking about 2020, Ida Njai, the letters written by Mr. Batchily in 2020.
2020 la mo bi nga xamné Ida Njai Mr. Batchily bobu la ko bindon.
Wa deployment bobu gis nako.
Yes, I saw that development letter.
I'm talking about the unprofessional handling of procurement affairs beekeeping that.
I'm talking about the unprofessional handling of the procurement unit that was written by Sankong.
The reason why the letter is relevant is to show that there were people in the procurement unit.
Not that
the letter was written at your time, but that the letter is in 2018,
then a letter be 2018
showing that there was also another guy called Sankong.
Then a bobu one na amna ko fa nekkon ku ñew Sankong.
Is it Fati? Sankong Fati?
Is it
Sankong Fati?
Fati.
Yes, who was also in the unit.
Ki nga xamne mom tamit mu ngi won ci unit.
Please go through this letter. It appears as if you have seen it.
Then mën na nekk dafa mel ni kayit bu ñu gis boobu la nga seet ko bi xam.
LGC/BCC/RL003. And may I please have the exhibit that I gave you?
April 2021.
This is April 14, 2021.
First confirm whether that's the exhibit you are referring to.
I think so, yes.
Thank you very much.
From
With the permission of the chairperson, the witness wants to read the exhibit.
Very well.
From Lord Mayor to the Chief Executive Officer, subject Ida Njai, complaint of maladministration against the Banjul City Council. In reference to the letter received from the Office of the Ombudsman on 15th February 2020, Ida Njai, who was appointed as Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014 by the Banjul City Council and later promoted to Procurement Officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul as part of the restructuring process after the local government elections in 2018. However, she reported that she was transferred to the rate office in July 2020, even after she explained to you that she does not have experience in this sector. Aidenjai has raised the following grave concerns, which I need your immediate response. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake account. I repeat that again. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake contract committee minute on 24th June 2020, which she did not do. You harassed her in several instances. You gave her an indefinite suspension on a half salary for allowing the GPA came for their annual compliance and audit review on 19th October 2020 as the only procurement staff at that moment. In light of these serious allegations that have been made, I will need you to respond to these matters as they are in violation of our work ethics and code of conduct. The Banjul City Council should be a safe working environment for all staff, where staffs are free to execute their work as per their terms of reference without facing challenges. I will need your response to these items by Friday, 14th October 2021. Rohey Malick Lowe, CC to the Office of the Ombudsman, Local Government Service Commission and Fire. So I'm saying this because later my bugon letter begin.
The reason why I wanted this letter to come.
If you look at the letter,
If you see the letter that I wrote,
I have this information like Aidan Jai, who was appointed Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014.
I had this information that Aidan Jai, who was appointed as
directly from the Office of the Ombudsman,
Procurement Officer directly from the Ombudsman, as what I'm saying.
And then if you look at the Banjul City Council and later promoted to Procurement Officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul, I'm reading directly from the Office of the Ombudsman,
what they wrote to me from the Ombudsman, that is what I wrote to Batchily for him to explain to me what had happened. I had that.
The witness either talk na fee.
I had the witness came here.
And leader, you
and I said, this is why I said, if you are a leader, there are certain many things you will agree to it. And there are many things that I only heard of it from here.
I understand CEO would have done complain.
I know CEO was complaining a lot about Ida. And many things, when he seated here, that was the time I had it.
And to be my letter be 2021.
And when I was writing this letter, this was in the year 2021. If somebody said to Ida that Mayor is not aware of this, he will not believe it.
Let me have that. The CEO testified
in
his last testimony. He said everything that is taken at council level is discussed with the mayor, correct, Mr.
Batchily?
If you have a management meeting, you always send copies to the mayor.
Yes.
Management meeting, the copies here.
Council.
Council.
It's hard for me to do this with Batchily.
It's very hard for me to bully with Batchily.
Why? I wouldn't say anything here. Batchily so I cannot defend it.
Anything that Batchily said here, if at all I cannot be able to defend it, I will say yes, it's good.
I don't wish doing this with Batchily.
I don't wish
doing this with Batchily.
I don't do this with Batchily.
Does Mr. Batchily send minutes?
Paper B.
The reason why I pull out this paper, he said, he informed me that everything he used to inform me.
But this is a memo that I am writing to him.
But this is a memo that I wrote to him.
Mr. Patrick.
I'm not writing it to Mr. Patrick. I wrote it to him.
And to my surprise, I told him.
And to my surprise, I told him.
Let me ignore that part.
Yes.
Did Mr. Batchily respond to your letter?
I cannot remember him.
I cannot remember him responding.
Why is it the case? So do you keep a file in the office, at the mayor's office? Is there a file for all communications to the CEO or outside communications that are written, when they are written, and then whether they are correspondence received?
CEO office, excuse me, mayor's office. Na am ngeen fa file bi nga am ne communication yep yu jaar yu day ñëw ak yu génn da ngeen ko day file fofu.
Wow.
Yes.
Man Batchily suñ digante sax bindante mo fa bari wut.
My writing at Batchily is not much.
Pour ne every time binda man ma Batchily lolu
To say-
not only Batchily sax.
To
Why
say-
so gisee ma dem text suma pen bi ma binda rek xamal ne I have to.
To say we write each other or try to write is not very fluent. It's very rare. Not if it only Batchily.
Mr. Batchily, let me read this again to you. The Lord Mayor wrote a letter addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. It says, in reference to the letter received from the Office of the Ombudsman on 15th of February 2020, Aida Njai, who was appointed as Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014 by the Banjul City Council, and later promoted to Procurement Officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul as part of the restructuring process after the local government election in 2018. However, she reported that she was transferred to the Rates Office in July 2020, even after she explained to you that she does not have an experience in this sector. Aida Njai has raised the following grave concerns, which I need your immediate response. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake contract committee meeting on 4th June 2020. You harassed her in several instances. You gave her an indefinite suspension on a half salary. In light of these serious allegations that have been made, I will need you to respond to these matters as they are in violation of our work ethic. Now, Mr. Batchily, did you receive this letter?
Yes, I think I recall.
Did you respond to it?
Not too sure about that.
Why? The ombudsman raised these issues.
Yeah, but then the letter that I received, or the memo that I received, came from the mayor, not directly from the ombudsman.
Yes, but the ombudsman raised all these issues.
Yeah, and then all these issues that were raised there, I had discussed it with her verbally.
Verbally.
I believe it's a convenient point. We will come back. It's already one. And GRTS has already taken the signal. We rise.